There was a time when touchscreens were barely a thing, a time when cameras on a phone didn't matter, and a time when playing Snake was the most satisfying thing you could ever play on a phone. Now you can relive those memories, this time in color.
Hello fellow Technophiles, how's it going? And you're watching my Nokia 3310 review. It's amazing to see how fast technology progresses. Back then, 2.4-inch screens like this one are already considered large. Color screens are also pretty rare back then. These days, we think 6-inch screens are the norm and 4-inch screens are really small now. But back then, we had this, it was enough for us. Also, most didn't even come with a camera, let alone a flashlight. So I'm happy phones like the Nokia 3310, which are now called feature phones, still exist today. It helps those who are not as tech literate as us call and text those who they love the most, as well as their other friends and family members. One of the most interesting parts of the Nokia 3310 is actually the box itself because it features artwork on the sides. On the left, it features the name Nokia 3310 Dual SIM, and this means this would be the 2017 version of the phone with only 2G services and no Wi-Fi capabilities. I don't know how long will this last since 2G services are being phased out all over the world. However, since it can receive calls and messages, I think it can live up for a while before this actually becomes obsolete. On the right, we also have some artwork. It actually features some music and some doodles. It's actually pretty rare to see artwork on boxes. Most smartphones don't even have artwork, just a picture of the phone, the name, and maybe the spec sheet on the back. Which reminds me, there's actually a spec sheet on the back of this phone. Cool, let's zoom it in so you can actually see it better. There. Here you can see it has a 2 megapixel camera with LED flash. As you know, the original Nokia 3310 doesn't have a camera. It's not really that necessary back then. There's also 25.3 days of battery according to standard time, and you can talk to the Nokia 3310, using the Nokia 3310 for almost 24 hours, which is unrealistic. I don't know if you actually call that long. So that's actually pretty something. It has long endurance battery because it doesn't process a lot of things unlike smartphones. Also, one amazing thing that Nokia added here is an improved version of Snake. Yes, that nostalgic game. I remember playing that on the original Nokia 3310. Now we can enjoy it in color. The game that's installed here is actually manufactured or say developed by Gameloft, which is known for games such as Asphalt 9, Despicable Me, Minion Rush, and others. And apparently there's also an app store, the Opera Store. Because it doesn't have Wi-Fi, it will use your data. And because it's 2G, it might take a while for it to load. I actually haven't seen it load in my preferences. It doesn't load that fast. And sometimes it doesn't even load when I try to open it. So that's going to be a little bit of a problem. But I can pass it on since it's a feature phone, not a smartphone. And also, this was manufactured back in 2017. So it might be outdated right now. One improvement over other feature phones, as well as the Nokia 3310, is the micro SD card slot up to 32 gigabytes. That's quite rare to see on a feature phone, which means you can put music, maybe about thousands of music in there, depending on how long and how high quality the music is. So now that you know what's on the back of the phone, as well as the specs, let's see what's actually inside the box. So, I set aside the Nokia 3310 for now, so we can actually see the contents of the box. Inside it is a micro USB charger, I think this is 10 watts, and some cheap earphones. Now, I don't know about the sound quality of these earphones since they're actually pretty cheap and you can find them somewhere in your local black market. However, it's actually pretty nice for Nokia to include them since most smartphone manufacturers no longer include them. Your move, guys, your move! Oh, this small bag? Well, this is actually intended for the battery. As you can tell, the Nokia 3310 doesn't actually have the battery installed inside it. It's removable, unlike most smartphones now. However, when we bought it inside the store, in the local mall here, we actually asked the store clerk there to insert the battery. That's why you couldn't see it here. And finally, here's your manual, or what Nokia calls it, the quick guide. In case you actually forgot how to use a keypad phone, this is where you can rely on. Oh yeah, that's it. That's it for the contents of the box. And I'll set this aside for now. Ooh, that was a pretty hard throw. So here we have the charger, the free earphones, the guide, the phone itself, and finally, well, the battery. Let's just put it down here. And that's all of it. It's simple, uncluttered, and it's pretty easy to keep and clean up. Unlike most smartphones that uses a lot of cardboard. Feature phones are designed to do two things: basic calls and text, and the Nokia 3310 is no exception. We were actually looking for the 4G version of the Nokia 3310, but unfortunately what we got is only a 2G version, which somewhat makes me worry because one, it's not as future-proof as for the 4G version of the Nokia 3310, and I'm actually worried if it may not be able to receive calls and messages from newer SIM cards. But to my surprise, it actually can receive calls and messages from newer SIM cards. So, for the casual user, that's more than enough. The Nokia 3310 has a 2.4-inch TFT display made of plastic. That's right, there's no metals here because it's not even that necessary. When you tilt the phone around like this even slightly, there's a noticeable distortion and the colors become washed out. Oh well, at least it's colored. The original came with a greenish blackish monochromatic screen. And the color screen here is already a noticeable improvement. You know what? Forget gaming phones. This is the only phone you need. This one comes with a 900 kilobytes storage. Where else can you find that? Most smartphones top out at 256, and this one tops out at 900. This one defeats them by a long shot. Clearly. No, but in all seriousness, the Snake game that comes preloaded with it is actually pretty fun to play and it's a good time waster. Noticeable improvements include the color graphics, as well as that pellets now come in 5 instead of 1, making gameplay a little faster. There are also new hazards such as bombs and obstacles which come at random, and I think you will enjoy playing it as much as I do. If you don't have internet, then yes, Snake is a good game to play and a time to waste. The new Nokia 3310 comes with a 1200 mAh lithium-ion battery, which is a huge improvement over the original's 900 mAh nickel hydride battery, as this one leaks less and probably doesn't overcharge as proven on smartphones. The Nokia 3310 comes with a 2 megapixel camera with LED flash. It obviously doesn't come with a selfie camera. And in terms of the photo quality, well, do I even have to tell you what it looks like? I don't have to. I'm just gonna show it to you. Nostalgic, right? The Nokia 3310 features speakers intentionally made just for calling and not really for listening to music for long periods of time. So, do you really expect high quality music coming from it? Well, I'm not gonna tell you. I'm just gonna show you. Although, in this case, I'm gonna let you hear the quality of it and let you judge it for yourself.
The new Nokia 3310 is a solid feature phone feeding on your nostalgia. Thanks to its numerous improvements, I can call this one a worthy successor, even if it's just a marketing trap. There are still improvements to be made, such as louder speakers and larger storage. It is already quite good as a gift for those who are not tech literate enough. Or you can keep it to yourself since the value will skyrocket now it is rare to find. Just don't open the box or use the phone. Ever. By the way, Nokia has made a 4G version of the 3310, which means it's more future-proof, so I suggest getting that one instead. We were actually looking for that one, but unfortunately we couldn't find it, and so we have to settle for the original 2G version, which was made back in 2017.
That was a nostalgia trip, isn't it? If you like my video, please press like. If you don't like it, you can always dislike it. Any form of feedback is appreciated. Once again, my name is Raphael and I'm a Technophile. See you soon!